I would always make sure that there is some, a little goodie, a little extra goodie that goes to them. Every parcel had an extra goodie that would be sent to my customers. And this was not out of anything else but the fact that I was so happy that they were ordering from me, they were valuing my art, that I wanted to give them a little bit more. I wanted to spoil them. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm so glad you could join me here today. Hey gang, I'm back. So, we all know how important it is for a business to have delighted customers. We need our people, our clients to be super happy so that the business can survive, thrive, grow, so that they can spread the word about it and keep coming back. But we don't really consider how important it is to maintain our own level of joyfulness. It's as important as ensuring your customers are happy. But serving your customers as well as yourself at the same time is a delicate balance. So today I launch a mini series on the podcast, and you're listening to part one of keeping your customers delighted while also maintaining your own sanity and joy. So let's start by talking about pricing. I've never been a proponent of discounts. I stand by this belief that discounts, if offered, must be done in a limited way, must be done very discerningly. Otherwise, you're devaluing your own product, your service, whatever it is you're offering. Too many discounts offered too often will only attract discount hunters. I mean, even as a customer, I'm sure you face the same thing, right? If there is some brand which keeps on offering discounts, you wouldn't probably buy from them at full price at any point of time. You'll just wait for the next discount to come along before you make that purchase from them. So, how do you ensure that your products, your services, whatever you're offering, is still accessible to your target client? The first point to remember is that you define your target audience. It may be wide, especially again with conscious entrepreneurship. You just want the whole world to try your product because you're working for a greater cause. I ran a vegan business and I wanted people to taste vegan food. I wanted to normalize that. So I wanted to reach every single kind of person. I wanted everyone to try it. But the reality is that every single person cannot be your customer. Every kind of person cannot be a customer. This is clearly seen when you notice that every person won't be happy with what you offer, either at the get go, even before they purchase, or even after. So it serves you as well as them and basically saves everyone's time and, keeps everybody mentally a little bit more happy. If you have a clearly defined idea, goal in your mind about who your ideal target customer is, ideal target client, customer, audience. When it comes to pricing, you have to have certain range defined in your head, a certain kind of person defined in your head. Now, it doesn't mean that just because you're targeting a certain set of people, a certain kind of person, it doesn't mean that you're pushing others away. Not at all. The others will come too. If they love your product, if you're offering something amazing, everybody will come, or a lot of people will come to buy from you repeatedly, to spread the word about you, support you, all of that. But the key with defining an ideal client is that when you do your pricing, your marketing, or you introduce new products, make changes, whatever it is you're doing, you will be keeping that person in mind. For example, you say that, hey, my ideal client is somebody who's aged between, say, 25 to 40 years old. They are earning a certain amount, they're able to support themselves and spend money on supporting what they believe in, on supporting good causes, businesses which align with their consciousness. So that is just one example. And then you price your product according to that person. You keep their spending abilities in mind, and then you price your products accordingly. And not just price them, you develop your products accordingly so that they match that price point. Once you do, there might be people who will say, hey, this is too expensive, this is overpriced, and etc., etc. They might be. You don't have to be offended when somebody says this, because everybody has their own capacity to pay. And some people may say it very genuinely, some people may just crib and complain about it. Different people deal with it in different ways. We've seen all kinds when we were running our business. But keep in mind that, yeah, they are not the people you're trying to please. Whoever you are trying to please, whoever's needs you're trying to fulfill, these people who have an issue with the pricing of your product are not that category. They don't even come into that bracket. And I was talking about the two kinds of people, right? So there are people who may just complain about it. So I'll let you in on a little secret. If ever somebody at my business asked me for a discount, I wouldn't like it one damn bit. I would not be happy about them asking for a discount, because I'd feel like, they're not valuing my efforts, my teams, the kind of work that we put in, the atmosphere we provide, the food that we serve. They aren't valuing it when they complain and they say, oh, give me a discount and things like that. They try to bargain. So when someone tries to bargain with you, they are cheapening your product, and you should likely, I would say you shouldn't be going down to their level. But then there are the other people who genuinely may not be able to afford it, and who may put it in those kinds of words. When you see that somebody is making an effort to spend with you, and they really are not really in a position to pay very much, then you can oblige them in any way, any good way that you can. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in terms of a discount, because again, discount, undervaluing, not the best idea. But you can deliver more. You charge your full price and then you deliver more. You deliver more than they expect. They'll feel happy, right? They're getting more for what they're paying, and they will appreciate it. And that's a good thing, because you feel good too. We would spoil our regulars rotten at my restaurant. We would just give them some extra goodie, or if we try something new, we'd just share it with them. We would just make them feel really, really pampered. And I loved doing that. There are people who I felt really, they were supporting us, and whether they could afford to or not. So there were plenty who could, of course, afford to, and they would support us, and some who couldn't, and they would occasionally support us. And all these people, I would feel great. I would feel so good. It would fill me with so much joy to just pamper them with extra goodies, extra stuff, just out of the blue, surprise them with things that they weren't expecting. That right there is a great thing to do, right? Because your customer is delighted. And you are also very happy because you've done something good. I used to run a jewelry store on Etsy. I would make handmade jewelry and then I would list it on Etsy for sale. So jewelry as well as these little miniature critters, all kinds of little characters made of polymer clay. I would list them out for sale. This was a really, really long time ago, maybe 15 years ago. And at that point of time, I didn't know much about running my own business. I was just an artist. That's what I love doing. I love doing the creative side of things. And I didn't give much thought to marketing and promotion. And these were pre-social media days even. There wasn't much connection I had with my customers, much interaction before they made the purchase. But even back then, whenever somebody purchased something, I would always make sure that there is some, a little goodie, a little extra goodie that goes to them. Every parcel had an extra goodie that would be sent to my customers. And this was not out of anything else but the fact that I was so happy that they were ordering from me, they were valuing my art, that I wanted to give them a little bit more. I wanted to spoil them. And there was a lot of joy in that for me. I saw that as time went by, people would say when they purchased again and again, and they would say that, I'm always looking out for that special surprise goodie of yours. And we saw the same thing at the restaurant too, even with the deliveries or at the end of their meal, if somebody got that extra special goodie, and people would appreciate that so much more than that huge meal, which they would have already praised, but when they got that extra goodie, they would praise it so much more. They would be even more delighted. And they would say that, yeah, I'm always looking forward to that little extra cookie that they won in the lucky dip at the end and things like that. Everybody loves a little bit of a freebie, a goodie, a little bit of extra. And it's a great way to retain the value of your offering, while also making your customers really, really happy. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share today in part 1 of this series. I'm going to share plenty more tips, plenty more stories from my experience as a business owner, as well as from the other end, as a customer. The different ways that you could maintain that delicate balance between keeping your customers delighted while also maintaining your own sanity and joy. Well, that's it for today's episode. Talk to you again soon. Hey, lovely people. It was so good chatting with you today. If you enjoyed this episode of the Feel Good Factor, you are going to love what I share in my newsletter. It's called the Feel Good Tribe, and I send out emails once or twice a month with secret stories, fun updates, life and business tips, spiritual guidance, and just so much more. Go to my website, veganosaurus.com, that is veganosaurus.com/newsletter, and sign up. I can't wait to have you on the Feel Good Tribe. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye!